For many Rhode Islanders, the COVID-19 emergency has translated into a long vacation. Although we haven't been free to go anywhere we want, we have been able to catch up on our TV shows, spend time with our immediate family, catch up on household projects, as well as yard work. Money has continued to roll in. In some cases, people are making more money than when they were working. It really hasn't been a time of worry. We hear every day about the statistics. This many new cases of COVID-19, this many have died. What we haven't heard much about is what is happening to our business community and the jobs that our business community brings to the Ocean State. The lockdown comes at a price, and it's time we start looking at what that is. Unemployment in Rhode Island was 3.4% in January and February of this year. It rose to 4.6 in March, which is a big jump. However, April has not been reported, but Rhode Island's unemployment was very similar to the national unemployment in those 3 months. So it's not difficult to think Rhode Island employment would have followed the national rate into April. The national unemployment rate went from 4.4% in March to 14.7% in April. That's the largest jump in unemployment in a single month in history. However, it really doesn't tell the whole story. The largest single week for unemployment claims prior to 2020 was in October of 1982 when 650,000 people filed for unemployment. In the week that ended April 9th in 2020, 6.6 million people filed for unemployment, 10 times more than what the previous record was. According to Fortune.com, on April 23rd, the total unemployed in Rhode Island was 20.6%. That's still not the whole story, though. All businesses are not the same. In fact, it's safe to say that no business is exactly the same. Even when there are franchises that seem like they're exactly the same, they're still not. There are many factors that would go into whether a business is built to survive the downturn. Some of the factors that at the time of the shutdown include, was the business leveraged in debt? What are the cash reserves? What are its accounts receivables and payables? How much inventory does it have, and is that inventory perishable? What are the fixed costs? Small businesses make up 99% of all companies in the U.S. It is also responsible for about 64% of the employment in this country. Small business is generally least capable of surviving a shutdown like we are experiencing. If we are the owners of a relatively new business, you are usually heavily in debt and also have put your own savings, many times all of it, into the business to get it started. Losing the business doesn't mean the loss of a job. To these business owners, many times it means losing everything. Your home, your retirement. Some seem to think that when we open Rhode Island again, these businesses will just pick up where they left off. That's not the case. They will simply rehire the employees they laid off. That's also not the case. They won't exist. 50% we've heard that 50% of the restaurants will not survive this. That's very possible. 50%. I've heard estimates between 20 and 50% of all small businesses will be gone permanently. Each day that passes, more businesses are pushed closer to the edge. Each business situation is different. Each day they are forced to be closed or severely hampered could be their last. And it is dependent on the individual situation. What we can be sure of is that every day we are shut down, some of these businesses will be pushed past the edge and go out of business. Each day that is not necessary for us to be shut down, we lose businesses that will never come back. Today it's time to start telling those stories, making sure that all Rhode Islanders understand what's going on when it comes to this shutdown. Thank you.
All right, good afternoon, Rhode Island. Let's hear it. You are live right now on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. I'm John DePetro. Let's see those American flags out there. If you're in your car, honk your horn right now to show your displeasure for what's happening in the state. Let's wave those American flags. Folks, right now, we are right outside the Rhode Island Statehouse. It is a light drizzle, but there's plenty of time. You can get in your car. How many people out here would like to see the churches reopen? How many people still believe in the United States of American freedom? How many people support President Trump and his efforts? How many people feel Governor Raimondo has gone too far? Reopen the state. Bring back your liberty. This is too much. Folks, think how in the restaurants they stopped them from selling mixed drinks. That could have been open. What economy is going to be left? Each state has different rules. In Massachusetts, there's one set of rules. Rhode Island, there's different set of rules. This is supposed to be a democracy, not a dictatorship that's going on. Let everyone around the state that is listening hear you right now. All the people here in Rhode Island. Folks, now is the time. If you're listening right now, and again on 99.9 FM or AM 1380, make your way to the Rhode Island Statehouse. The General Assembly, Speaker Nick Mattiello, they have abandoned their jobs. It is now up to the people to let Governor Raimondo know this is unacceptable. We need to reopen the state. Help the businesses stay alive. All these phases are not going to work. That's not the way democracy works. You can't cancel the summer. How many people want people to allow to get married again? Weddings should continue. This summer, how many people want to bring back the music festivals in Rhode Island? We're not idiots. We know how to social distance and wash your hands. How many people agree? Do not stop people and arrest them if they're not wearing a mask. That's not how we do things in the United States of America. Let me hear you. Governor Raimondo, you need to listen to the people. If you're riding around in your car right now, you can listen either 99.9 FM or also AM 1380. Honk your horn. If you're home right now, you're in your lunch hour. Hop in your car. Our democracy is broken. We need to take the power back. This is our state. This is not even reopen Rhode Island. This is retake Rhode Island. Let me hear you. There's Anthony. 100 people in Walmart. You had 10 at a funeral and churches still closed. We need to reopen those churches. And all the police out here, I know you're with the people. The Warwick police said we will not give out fines for masks. Let's hear it for the Warwick police. The state police are supposed to protect the people. They are not the private stormtroopers for Governor Raimondo. Last time I checked, she is the governor, not the Queen of Rhode Island. Let's hear it out there. Wave those flags. Honk those horns if you're listening and keep circling the Statehouse. Today we begin to retake the state. Let me hear you. Retake the state. Retake the state. Retake the state. Give yourselves a round of applause out here. Let's hear those horns if you're riding around. Again, tell your friends, AM 1380 or 99.9 FM. We are not going to take it any longer. The suffering has gone on long enough. The median age in Rhode Island is 82. They have destroyed our economy because people 100 years old are dying in nursing homes. The nursing homes is on the state, not on you. A big part of the spread is illegal aliens. They're giving the illegal aliens $500 a month. Let me hear you. If you agree with me, I say no money for the illegals. This is a perfect time to start the This is not a sanctuary city. This belongs to the people. Now, folks, we have a number of people that want to speak to you. Let's bring them up. He's my friend, former state senator. Let's hear a big round of applause. And again, if you're listening right now, folks, wherever you can hear my voice, get in your car. This is your chance. Folks, look at how the cars are starting to looping around in this motorcade. Look at that. Mark Smiley, excellent job. Mark Sicaria. Folks, look at this. The people are upset. Look at the cars circling, and now let's get the cars going the other way. This is your chance. If you're a small business owner, Republican, Democrat, maybe you've never voted, this is your one opportunity to let people know you don't approve of what's going on. We need to retake the state and reopen the state and take back the power. All right, folks, again, if you right now, you have plenty of time, get in your car if you're listening on the radio, 99.9 FM or AM 1380. Get down here to the Rhode Island Statehouse, and the Governor Raimondo press briefing is going to be at Vets. We want the cars honking as the governor is having the Gina show. Instead, people are going to hear the People show today. All right, folks, let's bring him up. He is my friend, former state senator, Frank Maher. Let's bring Frank Maher up. How are we doing today? All right, excellent. I want to thank everybody for coming out here today. The weather did not cooperate, but there's a great spirit out here today. All the cars coming by, beeping their horn, all you people out here, thank you very much for coming out. As John said, I was a former two-term Rhode Island state senator, and I'm currently now an employee at a small business which has been very harmed by the executive orders and the restrictions that have been put around the state. I am especially interested in this rally today because a number of different reasons. First of all, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I know all about the precautions that we should be taking. I have a compromised immune system. I'm a twice cancer survivor, and I've had 2 kidney transplants. So those of us that have a compromised immune system, we know what precautions to take. We know how to wash our hands. We know how to social distance, okay? But besides that, even if you don't have a compromised immune system, what ever happened to personal responsibility? People are smart enough in this country and in this state to be able to make decisions the government shouldn't have to tell them what to do. We are citizens of the greatest country on earth. We are a free people that strongly believe in the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, and we are people who can make our own educated decisions about what is right in any particular situation. We're also at a point where municipalities need to have the governor and the legislature working full-time right now, reconvene the General Assembly for special sessions so they may get some much-needed answers to the questions that they have. Without the General Assembly's input on things like state aid and budget referendums, it's almost impossible for towns and municipalities to know how to create their fiscal year for 2021 and their spending plans. Now, I'd like to give credit to the state and federal government for the decisions early on that they made to control the COVID-19 spread. But now is the time to reopen the economy. We're not going to cancel the summer in Rhode Island. People are completely confused by the phase-in approach. Phase in, phase 1, phase 2, wear a mask, not wear a mask. What is open, what is not open? They don't know what they can do and what they can't do. It's ridiculous. Our political leaders, however, need to be thoughtful and guarded as they take up the point position to guide the people through this crisis. Rhode Islanders can recall our great past governor,
J. Joseph Garrahy, who led us through the blizzard of '78. His leadership and delegation to state agencies, along with his calm demeanor and outlook, set the minds of Rhode Islanders at ease during that difficult time. That's the leadership we need. Regrettably, we are not seeing that in our political leaders today. We have a daily press conference by the executive branch of government where the issues and decisions of the prior day are subject to altercation, adjustment, elimination, and sometimes reversal and contradiction. It is not delivered in a manner that instills trust and confidence. Unfortunately, the daily message is delivered in a manner that leaves the citizens feeling they are afoul of executive orders. We also have certain municipal officials in Rhode Island who are taking every opportunity to create their own display and show, stating that mask shaming should be commenced with residents who witness others who do not comply with wearing a mask, not knowing what their particular circumstances are. While our leaders are living their lives in a bubble they've created for themselves, they are clearly not thinking of the consequences of their statements before they open their mouths, and the results will be devastating and are devastating. Thank you again for coming out today. Thank you for your patience with me, and keep the faith. God bless America. God bless the state of Rhode Island.
Let's hear it for our friend Frank Maher. If you're out in the car right now, and folks, we have people put on the radio to AM 1380 or 99.9 FM. And we want everyone in the state to be able to hear this. This is your chance to let the governor know that you don't approve of what's going on. All right, let's hear it for everybody in the cars. Let's hear those horns. Let me hear you if you'd like to have President Trump come to Rhode Island and reopen Rhode Island. All right, folks, now, again, I'm John DePetro. If you are right now, you have plenty of time. If you're listening, we have broadcasting on 99.9 FM. Put that on. If you're circling the Statehouse in your car, you want to put on that or AM 1380 and honk your horn. Let's bring him up now. He is a business owner, Steve Delorry. Let's hear Steve Delorry.
How you doing, folks? I didn't have no prepared speech, but thanks for coming out today. I live this every day. I own a small restaurant in Rhode Island, and Kim and Steve's Masset Grill, and we're new at it. We've been there 2 years, and we worked very hard. Me and Kim haven't taken a pay. We just kept reinvesting it back into the business. And we've built it up to, it's pretty successful. Then this pandemic come out, and it's nobody's fault, but it's how they dealt with it, I believe, is there's blame to go around. We were just, they told us for a long time now, you gotta start thinking outside the box, you gotta come up with new creative ideas to stay afloat. I mean, takeout's about 20% of our business. We can't live on that. So me and Kim come up with a few ideas. We tried to sell produce, other things. They shut us down. The road police come in and shut us down. Last week, we were just forced to close down. Now, Governor Raimondo is going to open up the state again, and for outside services. But she needs to go above and beyond that. There's 30-something municipalities and cities and towns in this state that have all different rules and regulations. I'm a quarter mile from East Greenwich. So if she don't make this a blanket order, executive order, then East Greenwich restaurants will be able to open up and I won't. Because Warwick has this set of rules. Warwick's probably the most difficult city to do business in the state of Rhode Island. I mean, you need a separate permit to sell a toothpick. I mean, it's unbelievable. But she really needs to make this a blanket executive order and continue to do it more rapidly. In the beginning, she had a responsibility to the people to keep them safe and keep them healthy. But now, as we've gone further, it's become more and more about holding out to get more federal money. You know, when she went last week, she spoke about giving the money where she was going to send the money, to the hospitals, to the executives at the hospitals and the nursing homes. How about us? I have a friend in Warwick who's got a farm, a flower shop and farm. It's been here 120 years. You're not allowed to go in his greenhouse or touch his plant. But I went by Ian and Hope and Walmart the other day, and there's a line outside the store. This guy's been here 120 years. It's unbelievable. So, and you wonder, you know, why these big box stores? I actually had a city official in Warwick, when I put out my little farmer's market in my parking lot, tell me I can't be competing with Stop and Shop. I asked him, what do you got, stock in Stop and Shop? You know, it's unbelievable. The stories they come up with, and they make up their own rules as they go along. She needs to make this a blanket proposal and move quickly. If you're elderly, if you're sick, if you have a preconditioned injury or something, stay home. I mean, I'm not gonna come to your house. I'm not gonna get you sick, but I gotta survive. My employees, most of my employees, thank God I have good employees. They volunteering. I'm selling produce outside. I've given away over 4,000 lunches in the last month and a half to children, so their parents don't have to make lunch because they're homeschooling and everything. They didn't complain about that. So my help has been there on a daily basis, volunteering, working off tips, waiting for us to reopen. But how long is that gonna last? When is she gonna let us reopen? Half the country's starting to reopen. You can go to Walmart bathroom, but you can't go to Jamestown Beach. I don't understand. That's probably the most unsafe place in the state of Rhode Island. But you can go there and not to us. I don't want to rant on. There's a lot of other people who have worse situations than I got. But, I mean, I'm going to be forced. I'm 56 years old. I don't want to file bankruptcy. You know, I'm too old to start all over again. So let us reopen. Give us some credit being smart adults. You know what I mean? We know how to handle ourselves. And let's take this state back over. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming.
Let's hear it for it, folks. That was fantastic. Again, good afternoon, everyone. Right now, it's John DePetro. We are live on 99.9 FM and AM 1380. Let's let everybody at home hear you, all the people that are here, right here in the plaza. Everyone that is circling the Statehouse, honk your horns. This is day one. We want to retake the state of Rhode Island. Let me hear you, everybody. Let's hear those horns if you're listening right now. Look at all these cars that are parading around in American flags. Let me hear you if you still believe in democracy. Mike is exactly right. We are adults. Listen, this was a difficult situation. No one wants anyone to get the virus, but there's not going to be any state left if we keep these restrictions. And the tyranny, let's hear it out there. Folks, if you're riding right now, wherever you are, and I'm speaking to the people on the radio, come down. Folks, you can hear all the horns. If you're listening in your car, let's hear you out in your car honking the horns. We have a nice crowd of people that are circling. We have a nice crowd of people out here. And folks, this is all under one method, and that is we need to end this and start to loosen the restrictions. It's going on too long. The people need to be heard. And that was, again, Steve Delorry. Let's give him a round of applause. What a great speech. We don't want you to go bankrupt either, brother. We're with you. Loosen the restrictions. Now, folks, again, let's hear. Next up is Mike Penta. Let's give him a round of applause.
How you doing, folks? Thanks for coming out, supporting us in this. I'm the owner of a small construction company, very small, and 2 small restaurants. We have been struggling for the last 2 months, takeout order, barely making the bills, trying to get whatever we could to keep our employees to work. had to let half of them go. Got a great unemployment package. They get to collect their unemployment and the additional funds. It's everywhere around the state of Rhode Island. This $600 package is phenomenal. But people don't understand. I can't get nobody to come back to work. They won't come back to work for $300-400 a week. They think it's me. I'm not the bad guy. It's the government that should be speaking and telling people to go back to work. I shouldn't have to build a bad relationship with my workers. We have a love relationship. It's starting to fall apart. Thanks. The government should be doing it, not making me out to be the bad guy. We need to open up the businesses, hair salons. Look at me. We need restaurants. We need to open. We need to bring the money in, the revenue in. We're gonna go bankrupt. I'm ready to close one of them. We're ready to go bankrupt, maybe even the second one. They give us a loan, the PPP loan. How many of you all heard of that? The PPP loan looked great. Signed it, got it. I got 8 weeks to spend it, but I can't open. I gotta hire my people back, and it's gotta go back to them. 75% of it has to go back to those people. Well, if they can't come to work because I have no work, how am I supposed to pay the loan? If I don't do it according to their books and records, I gotta pay it back in 2 years at $3,600 a month. I don't have any money, I'm broke. So bottom line, we have to let the people make their choice. Come into the restaurant. If you can get thousands of people a day in Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, and etc., why can't I put 25 people in my restaurant and we follow our safety measures? No? I need to bring in the revenue. I need to put people back to work. We need to open up the state of Rhode Island. I want to thank everybody for showing up. Thank you very much.
Let's hear it for him. This is one of our business owners, folks, trying to keep it going. Again, good afternoon, everyone. It's John DePetro. Right now, listen to all those horns. You can see the cars lined up. Wherever you're listening right now, switch your radio to 99.9 FM or AM 1380. Head down to the Statehouse. Now, we want everyone to do this between now and 2 o'clock. This is your chance to send a message to Governor Raimondo. It's not enough. We need to loosen the restrictions. It's too slow. We need the people. We're going to lose all businesses. And number one, let's reopen the churches. Let me hear you out there. Wherever you are right now, you can get in your car, come down to the Rhode Island Statehouse. This is your state. And a simple act. Listen to all those horns out there. Let's give them a round of applause. All the people that are riding around and honking the horns. This is the best we can do. 5 people is too small. Let businesses open or there won't be anything left. Resist tyranny and restore hope. I love that sign. Let's give her a round of applause. I love that. I'm looking at some different signs. Gina, keep your oath. Let's hear that. Knock it off, Gina. Reopen Rhode Island. Folks, it makes no sense that Massachusetts is next door, and at a funeral they allow 25 people. Connecticut allows 50 people. In Rhode Island, just 10 people at a funeral. That's not the United States of America. And something else, when Governor Raimondo starts thanking people, I want to start to hear the name President Trump when she's thanking people. Now, folks, again, it's a simple act to send your message to the governor. It's too slow. We're adults. Loosen the restrictions. Someone else with our next speaker. Let's hear from her, Barbara Holmes. Let's have a round of applause for Barbara Holmes.
Are you glad to be here? I am too. I'm Barbara Holmes Brackett, an ordained minister of the gospel and the sole member of a firm, Barbara M. Holmes, CPA, CFP, MS, LLC. Madam Governor, I come here representing ministers of the gospel and is a self-employed certified public accountant. The churches, in addition to being an essential entity in our state, yes, perform a number of services that save the state government money. Many churches have line items in their budget for what we call benevolence. I know that because my practice specializes in nonprofit organizations, especially churches. These funds are used to provide help to families in our state to keep their utilities functioning, pay their mortgage, and provide food and clothing for their families. Ministers counsel members and others in biblical solutions to life's difficulties. Have you ever had a life difficulty and needed a minister to come along beside you? Yes. We are there when they are hospitalized or sick, grieving for a loved one, and creating families by performing weddings. This, of course, is in addition to other sacerdotal functions that we are more aware of. By the way, 2 of our granddaughters got married in the last month and a half, and one of them we could not attend. That should never, ever be. Churches are essential for many of the citizens in Rhode Island. Yes. Let me tell you a couple of situations that made my professions, because I have 2, nearly impossible to perform properly due solely to the restrictions placed on our lives. My husband is a pastor of a church located in Connecticut. In the last month, 2 of his siblings have died of cancer. Not COVID, cancer. The first was his sister, who lived in upstate New York. Not only did she love her brother, but looked to him as her pastor. He was asked to come and perform her funeral. The difficulty was that once he did that, we would have to quarantine for 14 days after returning. Of course, the decision to go was made. That's the only decision we could make. That meant after being there for less than 2 days, I returned having to tell my staff they could not come back to work for 2 weeks. That meant that during tax season, I had no one to answer the phone or perform any of the services as support staff. Also, the accounting and tax preparation staff could not perform their duties. So the tax returns became further and further behind. This has resulted in some of my clients not being able to receive the CARES Act payments as they were needed. Also during this time frame, my husband's brother became critically ill, and he could not go to minister to him or perform the usual act of transporting him to treatments. He could not go to perform the funeral or comfort his brother's family. By the way, there were no COVID cases in New York where we went, and no one came down with the illness as the result of our travels. Ministers go to hospitals to visit sick and dying. It's part of the job description of the profession. We understand the risk every time we go to the hospital to pray for the sick, or pray for them and lay hands on them so they will recover. We often pray for those in positions of authority over us, and I would like to do that for you now, Madam Governor, and those that you represent. situations and segments of the society that make up our great state. If you will, bow your heads. Let's pray for our state, our governor, and all of the people who live here and call Rhode Island home. Father, we pray for protection from the current virus, which is causing sickness to many in our state. Thank you, Lord, for giving our governor and other members of our government wisdom, knowledge, and understanding to perform their duties following your word and the Constitution of our state, as well as the United States of America. Father, we ask that you bless them and you keep them. Be gracious unto them. Make your face shine upon them and give them your peace, both now and forevermore. In the name of your Son, amen.
Amen.
Open up the state of Rhode Island.
Folks, let's hear it. A round of applause for the pastor. That was fantastic. Give her a round of applause. Again, good afternoon, everyone. It's John DePetro. We are right now at the Rhode Island Statehouse. Thank you, Mark. Move that out a little bit. I'm going to swing that to when I stand. Here we go. All right, we are right now broadcasting on AM 1380, 99.9 FM. If you're listening in your car, you have a chance to come down here. Folks, let's face it, this is the only chance that we have for democracy, is to let the governor know the restrictions have gone on too long. We need to reopen the state. Let's hear it out there. We're adults. Let's face it. It's tragic what has happened. Let's be reasonable, but we've learned. And the bulk of the death, 85% of the deaths in Rhode Island are in nursing homes, people over the age of 85. That's no reason to destroy our economy. We're Americans. Look at these American flags out there. Wave them proudly. If you're listening right now, you can come to the Rhode Island Statehouse. This is a chance. And also, we need the General Assembly to come back in session. The people have to be represented. No one wants to get sick. No one wants the virus. But it is cruel and unfair to keep businesses handcuffed, forcing people out of businesses, forcing them out of their homes. That is not the American way. Let's hear it out there. Folks, you have a chance to make a difference. Now, right now, if you're listening on AM 1380 or 99.9 FM or at DePetro.com, this is your chance to come to the Statehouse and let Governor Raimondo know it's going on too long. We have to loosen the restrictions, open the churches, and reopen the state of Rhode Island for the people. Let businesses enforce the guidelines. Let the people make their good choices. Now, folks, let's bring them up. This is one of the people that made today happen. Let's have a round of applause for Mark Smiley. Let's bring up Mark again.
I'm back. What many of you may not know is that I'm an insurance broker that also makes me self-employed. You've probably heard that term thrown around quite a bit lately. My business started to be severely impacted on March 23rd. Normally, I'd see 10 to 15 people a week. Since March 23rd, I've seen 8. Most of them were cleanup of outstanding cases, not to start a new case. My business has been severely impacted. To hear the news, the federal and state governments were going to come to my rescue. Understand that normally self-employed people are not eligible for unemployment. But the people in Washington, D.C. decided that this time around I would be eligible. I applied for 2 emergency programs. One is the Emergency Injury Disaster Loan and the Payroll Protection Plan program. I applied for that in the week of March 23rd. I applied for unemployment a couple of weeks later because I wasn't really sure how that was going to work, but I did apply. On April 16th, the Payroll Protection Program ran out of money. We then sent heard that the federal government continued to bat around whether or not they were going to refund that money. Eventually they did. At that point, my business was, or I got a letter from the bank that I had applied through saying that my application was going to go to the front of the line. I don't believe that then, and I still don't believe it. 7 weeks have gone by since I applied for any kind of relief. So far, I have received $1,000. That's it. I have also received an erroneous $1,000 from Rhode Island unemployment, and frankly, because of the fraud investigation going on right now, I'm hanging on to that money. I'm not going to spend it. I don't understand why it was sent to me. To summarize, to date, over the past 7-week period, starting on March 23rd, I have received $1,000 in aid to help me through this emergency. That's it. Thank you.
Hey John, talk about our kids, man. School, sports, talk about the kids.
That's right, folks, and also this is not fair to the kids. There's many spring sports that could have gone on. You can social distance. It's not affecting the children, thank God. It's not fair to the college students, and also this form of government where the governor decides everything and we just have to sit and wait for things to be decided. None of it seems fair. Absolutely none of it seems fair. Again, that was Mark Smiley. I want to say good afternoon to everyone who's listening on AM 1380 and 99.9 FM. Let's also bring up, we have another speaker, and it's, let's have a round of applause for Mr. Aucoin.
Listen, you've all heard a lot from churches today, and I'm a pastor, and that's what I'm here to talk about, churches. I sent out a letter a little over a week ago to quite a few people, and I heard back from over 25 churches that agree with this letter. We want to be considered essential services, and we'd like to be part of the strategy for reopening. So let me just read to you the letter that I wrote, and let me just read it to you. Dear Governor Raimondo, our churches are thankful for your leadership during this COVID-19 crisis, especially in the beginning. We have been publicly praying for both yourself as well as all of our elected officials during our streaming services. You have been given an unusually heavy responsibility at this time, and the Bible encourages us to pray for you and all those in authority. Let me just say something here. When you actually think about it, that is a very heavy responsibility, because you're talking about decisions that affect people's lives and loved ones, but just keep that in mind. As pastors and church leaders, we care deeply for the health and welfare of our congregations and our communities. We recognize the dangers and uncertainties surrounding this virus and have supported the extraordinary measures all of us are having to take. However, as you move towards reopening, we want churches to be considered as essential and included in this phase 1 of reopening. And I gave her a number of reasons why. Number one, our First Amendment rights are very clear. Our Constitution says it. Secondly, is we can work together as churches. How many of you are involved in something that's helping other people either eat or stay safe, right? We really can help one another. Churches do that really well. And then the third reason, that it actually costs the state nothing. If you allow and encourage churches to do what we do best, loving people, helping people as Jesus taught us, you just can't replace that kind of care, and it costs the state nothing. So last point is, Governor Raimondo, church is essential for thousands of Rhode Islanders. We have done our best to temporarily adapt to these extraordinary circumstances, but with the statistics slowly changing and reopening is imminent, we want to be included in that first stage. I can say this, most of our denominations or church fellowships, we are constantly getting guidelines for staying safe and helping people. So we're very aware of how to do it and do it in a great way. Just in closing, it's hard to imagine a worship service with 5 people. You can't do it. 5 people is not a worship service, and so many have already said this. Our churches are large enough that we can have 50 people, just like a Walmart or a grocery store. We can have 50 people and keep everybody at a safe distance. Can you say amen to that? So other states are doing it. Massachusetts is allowing 25, Connecticut 50, Rhode Island is 10 or less. So we're asking her for a seat at the table so we can be involved in some of the strategic planning. You guys prayed for our state there with Barbara, and just keep praying. Amen?
Folks, let's hear it for Pastor Aucoin. Let's hear it for him. He's exactly right. Again, good afternoon, everyone. It's John DePetro. I want to say good afternoon to everyone that is in their cars, that are circling. Look around. We've had a very, very good display. I want to thank Mark Smiley and Mark Zakaria. Let's have a round of applause for them folks trying to step forward and bring some balance to our government. Again, it's John DePetro. Now listen, you can hear me on the radio at AM 1380, 99.9 FM. This is going to go on until 2 o'clock. And also, let me say to the media that it is time to represent that not everyone is on board with Governor Raimondo and all her restrictions. Let's hear it from the media that there are other voices out there that want the state to reopen, let the churches reopen, let the people make decisions. That's what the country is about. Am I right? Follow the Constitution, lift the restrictions, and also stop threatening people. Governor Raimondo, stop threatening people. If you want to help us, that's one thing. You want to give us instruction, that's one thing, but stop threatening people, and law enforcement, don't you dare give out fines to businesses of people not wearing masks. Let's hear it out there. This is the United States. Look at all these people riding around. What kind of future is this going to be? We need church leaders to stand up to the government and say we're going to reopen our churches for the people. And do it responsibly and safely, the way everyone is spread out here today. Look at all these patriots circling the Statehouse right now. Let's give them a round of applause. Everyone in their cars, with their horns. Now, folks, again, keep it up. We need the General Assembly back. And make sure the media realizes that we don't want anyone to get sick. We're not talking about breaking the law. We're talking about made-up rules. Stop the restrictions. Stop squeezing small business. Help people. Stop threatening us. Help people survive. Help Americans. Help Americans. We don't need a dictatorship where people are, Governor, can I do this? Governor, can I do that? You don't need to ask. You have a brain. You're an American. You know what the hell to do. Am I right out there? Stop talking to us like you're the principal in the room. We are grown adults. We know what's right. We know what's wrong. We get it. Washing hands, social distance, masks, we get that. But it's time to help the companies, the small businesses that make up this state. Am I right out there? We need to support them, not these big box chains where there's not going to be anything left. And we need to set example for the children. Children need to listen to their parents, not just the governor who's instructing them that she's the only authority. She's not the only authority. And we need the media to represent these things properly. Stop telling us that people are against President Trump. People support this president. And it's about time they realize that. So folks, thank you for coming out. I want to thank everyone that is out there right now, that is riding around in their car, and realize, honk your horn. Honking your horn is a way to do it for freedom, since we're not supposed to gather in big groups. But the fact of the matter is, this is still, she may be in charge, but this is still the United States of America. All right, folks, again, when you're leaving, be peaceful And thank you for coming out. Make sure, again, the honking of the horns, that's, as far as I know, that's the extent of our program. That's what I've been told. I don't have the list of the speakers. Folks, it's John DePetro. We're going to go back. I'm going to go back to Mark.